right, so let's do the bonus project. And again, these are the winners for yesterday and then also last Friday. So when I was cleaning my room, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna just give away, because so many of y'all watched me clean my room, I was just cracking up. So anyway, so you're gonna get this is the project we're gonna make. And since I'm making, I've already made one and I'm gonna make one on camera, I thought that this is how I would send the gifts to you. So for last week's giveaway, the winner is Christine H. Congratulations, Christine. So if you can message me on Facebook or head on over to istampin.com, and there's a little contact button at the top. If you can just reach out to me and send me your mailing address, I will get this in the mail to you. And then the other winner for watching my iStampin Live yesterday is Hilda M. So again, same with you, Hilda. If you can reach out to me via Facebook Messenger or head on over to my blog, istampin.com, and just on the contact, just send me your mailing address, then you will receive one of these as well. So I've got like a little goodie package inside of the little gift bag. So I thought that I would show you how to make this super fun gift bag. I just thought this was darling. All right, so I'm gonna keep those so I don't forget who won. So again, this is using the same collection, the Sure Do Love You bundle, but now we're going to be using the Heart Happiness stamp. I'm gonna be using this stamp right here, so that's on page 20. So I used this image right here and then the heart from the other stamp set. So let me find where's the Heart Happiness. Here we go. So here's Heart Happiness, and I've used this in another project I did a couple of weeks ago. So we're going to be using this heart right here, so we can go ahead and do our stamping. And for that, where did my little bag go? Here we go. For that, you will need just a piece of powder pink cardstock. And then you will need your powder pink ink pad. And we are just going to stamp that right here. And we're going to die cut this out in just a minute, but let's go ahead and do our stamping with the little banner. So again, just get out a piece of Whisper White cardstock. And then for this, I stamped it in Rich Razzleberry. And this is a distressed banner, so if you're using this for the first time and you see how you think that you messed up and it didn't stamp all correctly, that is the way it is designed. And if you ever question that, always look at the cover of your stamp set on the image sheet and you'll be able to see, oh, okay, this has a lot of distress, so there's nothing wrong with the way I stamped it, or the stamp isn't defective. I always like to tell my customers that. Okay, so we are going to be using the same framelit that we used to cut out the heart as we did in the previous project. And then we will use the banner. I'm sorry, my head keeps getting in the way. We will use the banner from the set, and this is, both of these framelits are coming from the Lots to Love box framelits. So this is part of that bundle. Okay, so let me head on over to my Big Shot real quick. Oh, and let me also, this is the other thing you're going to want to die cut. I've already done this part, so that's why I kind of had forgotten about it. To make the gift box, the gift bag, I should say. So you will die cut out 2 pieces, and this is our, oh, I keep calling it the wrong thing. It's the mini treat bag. That's the official name. So you will need to die cut one of these and then one of these to make the bag. Now I'm going to give you a little tip on this piece. you want to cut your paper 6 inches wide. So when you take your designer series paper, just cut it in half. And then when you go to put this on your Big Shot, you want to make sure that you square this up with the opening of the Big Shot. When this first came out, I was reading that a couple of people were damaging this framelit through their Big Shot because they didn't have it lined up just straight on. So if it's kind of like cattywampus like that, it can actually bend the framelit, or possibly even break it in half, or do damage where you wouldn't be able to use it anymore. So when you're putting this through your Big Shot, like I said, just make sure that this is like squared up. The opening is 6 inches wide, so you shouldn't have any problem getting this cleared through the opening when you just have it straight on. So hopefully that makes sense. And then lastly, the last bit of die cutting that you will do is grab a piece of our cardstock vellum and the largest circle from our stitch shape framelits, and you're going to die cut that. Okay, so I've done those in advance, but let me go die cut these two pieces, and then we'll put this mini treat bag together. And I've got that piece done. Okay, so we'll put all this together in just a second. Let's work on our gift bag. Now, because this designer series paper, with it being specialty because of the foiling, it is a little bit thicker than normal. So you do want to be a little, you can see the score lines that appears when you run it through the Big Shot. But because this designer series paper, like I said, is a little bit thicker, just be gentle when you are folding on the score lines, that you're folding on the correct line. And it should give. And you definitely want to use your bone folder and burnish those score lines and get really good folds. So how it goes together, I like to do it backwards. Some people may do it a little bit differently. So the flap is going to be on the left side of the big piece, and then the flap is going to be on the right side of the small piece. And so if you can imagine, we're going to be putting adhesive on this little flap right here, and then it folds like so. And then this comes up. So if you can imagine that. For this kind of stuff, I love my tear and tape. The great thing about it, and I've mentioned this before, is that it's a great adhesive. It holds super well, or really well, super well. But the great thing that I like about it is that if you don't press too firmly when you put the papers down, the two sides down, you can actually move it if you need to. When we used to have our sticky strip, forget it. Once that sucker was down, you were committed. So, and then the other thing that I like to do is when I put this side down, I like to make sure that this is clearing. Sometimes you may put it too low and then it gets all messed up. So what I like to do is to match the score line here at the bottom with the score line where the flap is. But like I said, I always like to do that just to make sure that I'm doing that right. And then just come in here and make sure that that is all lined up. Okay, I think that looks good. It's a little too far over, and I've repressed it, so let's keep our fingers crossed. I think with this gold foil, it's a little bit even more forgiving. What am I doing wrong? Okay, so I'm going to do it on this side now. So whatever I said earlier, just ignore. Okay. I promise y'all this is easy, but of course doing it live, it's going to cause me some issues. I'm fussing at this when I really shouldn't be. I mean, nobody even notices the back. There we go. Okay, now it worked. All right, so now we can press that down. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put sticky strip on just one side of the treat bag. So I'm just going to put that on the right side. And I like to burnish the backing strip. When you do that, it just makes it easier for it to release. And then I like to use my paper piercer just to pick it up with my nails. It's sometimes kind of hard to get it off. And so there's our bag. So you can see how cute that double-sided paper is. And now let's just put just one last strip here at the bottom. And this will close our little mini treat bag. And I tore off it a little bit long, so I'm just curling up what is hanging over and then closing that. And because this paper is a little bit thicker, what I'm doing is I'm just taking my bone folder and really making sure that it has a nice crease at the bottom. And that is it. Isn't that darling? I love the stripes. Just so cute. And it's really nice and thick, the paper, so it has a nice weight to it. Okay, so what we're going to do next is use the same tinsel trim that we used in our previous project. And I am just going to tie it around the bag and tie a bow. And I like to tie my bows off to the left. I'm not sure why, maybe because I'm left-handed. Visually, I just think that they look nicer on that side. Maybe because when we read from left to right. I'm not sure. So I'm just gonna tie a bow. Whoops, come on. And this tinsel trim ties really nice bows. And just the sparkle is just adorable. Okay. And I've got a ton of left over, but that's okay. Here's my scissors. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut off the tails. And then let's go ahead and and if I need to adjust the bow, make it smaller or anything like that, or adjust it, I can do that. And the reason why I did the vellum is I felt like this needed something, you know, a back, and I wanted to tone down this just a little bit, and I like the opaqueness that you can still see the designer series paper, but it just, you know, like I said, it just tones down the paper. Like if I felt like if I did like a solid cardstock color, you know, I mean, you could definitely do that, but then to me that just kind of takes away from the paper. So using vellum is a great choice if you feel like you need something, but you're not quite sure what you need. You know, get out your vellum and try that. Okay, what's going on here? There we go. Okay, and because I've got this little heart and banner, I'm just putting vellum, I'm putting adhesive right in the center of the vellum, and that's gonna hide it. You know, the thing with vellum is, since it's see-through, you can definitely see the adhesive. So you do want to make sure you remember that. And then let's see, how did I do this on my project? Did I pop this up? Okay, yes. I popped both of these up. So, dimensionals, where'd they go? Oh my gosh, where'd they go? They're probably right in front of me, and there they are. Okay, they were covered up. All right, so I'm gonna put 2 right here in the middle of the heart. Come on. And if for any reason, if you want to watch this again, I will be sharing this on my I Stampin' Online Facebook page, as well as the iStampin my iStampin online group page, and then obviously my iStampin business page, which is what you're watching it on right now. So there's a few places that you'll be able to see it at. And then if you head on over to iStampin.com, later today I will have a blog post up so you can see all of the items that I used and download the project and inspiration sheet. Okay, so I'm going to just shift this over to the left a little bit. And I think I need to make my bow just a little bit smaller. The banner kind of gets in the way, but you can definitely work around it. There we go. And so that is it. So here, let me bring in the one that I made earlier with the little goodie for Christine. And then Hilda, this is the one that you will be getting. So I'll put your little goodie in there later. So make sure, ladies, that you reach out to me and give me your mailing addresses. So that is one of that was the second project. And then let me bring this one back in. And this was the first project that we made. So I hope everybody loved the bonus project and also the first one. If you did, give me some thumbs up, some hearts, let me know what you think. I don't think I had any comments or any questions. I think that's good. And again, thanks for joining me. I know this was not the scheduled time that I said last night, but like I said, you can always rewatch it if you didn't catch this live. And thank you so much, guys. And I guess I'll see y'all next week with some more inspiration. And if you're watching NFL football tomorrow, say your prayer for the Jacksonville Jags that they win. We're playing the Patriots tomorrow to go to the Super Bowl. It's gonna be a monumental day for us to win. But if you're a football fan, think good thoughts about Jacksonville. All right, guys, have a fabulous day, and I'll see you next week. Bye.